Hello and welcome to the information session for our summer 2019 study abroad programs in the School of Human Evolution and Social Change. To give you an overview of this presentation, I'll first introduce our school and then talk about some of the benefits of faculty-directed programs in general before I give you an overview of those specific ones that we have available, as well as our field schools. Then I'll review some information from the Study Abroad Office regarding the application process as well as using financial aid. So before we get started, I just want to introduce the School of Human Evolution and Social Change if you're not familiar. I just want to briefly introduce you to our school as well as our vision. Here we focus on exploring the untold chapters of the human story, focusing on the intersections of anthropology and global health and environmental sciences, as well as other disciplines. And we also seek to preserve and transfer that knowledge to those who desire to change our world for the better. And so the human story is a common theme that you'll find unites all of our study abroad programs. And we hope that you'll consider joining us on one of these various journeys to learn about others, and in the process, really to learn more about ourselves as well. So first, I just want to let you know briefly what a faculty-directed program entails and what are some of the benefits. These programs are designed to enable you to gain what we call global competencies. We want our students to come away thinking of themselves as global citizens, to be more connected to peoples around the world. And so with a faculty-led program, you'll take classes with ASU faculty that count for credit towards your degree, and they're in the format of a structured, pre-planned program and associated courses. Now, this type of program also allows you to build a strong connection with an ASU faculty member, which can be very important. We spend several weeks working closely with the students on our program, so we get to know you very well. And this is useful later as you're seeking mentorship, perhaps for your degree, or maybe later on for recommendations as you move on to your career, or perhaps more advanced studies such as graduate school. And then finally, another benefit is the support that's available to us from ASU. So the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences sponsors the program, and then we also have ASU support as we need it while we're abroad. So our summer 2019 faculty-directed programs are currently being offered in Australia, as well as London, England, and Paris, France. We also have programs in New Zealand, Peru, and South Africa. And then we have field schools being offered this year in Guatemala and in Campsville, Illinois. So just going in no particular order here, I want to give you an overview of each of our faculty-directed programs. In Australia, we have the Community Health and Ecosystem Sustainability Program, which is directed by Professor Katie Hind in collaboration with Professor Ian Gilby. This program runs from May 12th to June 6th, and you earn 6 credits studying how centuries of colonization in the area, along with more recent processes of urbanization and globalization, have brought about massive environmental and social and political changes to the continent of Australia, with really critical implications for its future sustainability. This is a traveling program that visits the cities of Sydney, Brisbane, Port Douglas, Atherton, Alice Springs, as well as other smaller cities that are located near some of these places. And you'll stay in a variety of accommodation types. Everybody wants to know where you'll be staying on these programs. So in this one, you'll stay in hostels, hotels, there's an eco resort, a vacation apartment, a dorm, a cabin, and then you'll also spend 2 nights glamping in tents out under the stars. And the Australia program is really exciting. Some selected activity highlights include snorkeling the Great Barrier Reef, there's river kayaking and canoeing in an intertidal zone. You'll get to do a rainforest walk and a camel ride at sunset. As I mentioned, you'll also camp out under the stars. This takes place near a mine from the 1800s. And then there's also a hike overlooking the Pacific Ocean with opportunities for whale watching. You get to pet kangaroos. It's really just like a bucket list kind of trip. You also learn about Aboriginal, Australian, and Torres Strait Islander health and wellness, as well as remote emergency healthcare delivery. Other topics include water systems management, water parasitology, the ecology of the Great Barrier Reef, and the implementation of sustainable water practices, among other topics. In London, England, the program titled Plague Pits and Body Snatchers, A History of Health and Disease in a Global City. This program is led by faculty directors Kelly Knudsen and Alexandra Brewis-Slade. It runs from May 25th to June 15th, with the students leaving the US on May 24th. This program you'll also earn 6 credits. It's based in central London with planned trips to Stonehenge, Chichester, and Greenwich. And students here will live in shared apartments in central London. And the focus of this program is on understanding the complexities of health and disease in London from the time of the Romans through the medieval period and the Victorian periods, to really understand how people lived during these time periods and how they died in London and the surrounding areas. And you'll spend as much time as possible exploring London and the surrounding areas. There are planned trips and activities such as day trips to the Standing Stones at Stonehenge and Avebury, and the beautiful village of Chichester. You'll get to do a Jack the Ripper walking tour and visit the old operating theatre. There are behind-the-scenes workshops at the British Museum and the Museum of London. You'll also get to have tours of the Tower of London, Westminster Abbey, the Highgate Cemetery, and Kensington Palace. And then you'll also have afternoon tea and group meals in London. And then another program in Europe is in Paris, France. This is led by our SHESC faculty member Ryan Stotts in collaboration with the School of International Letters and Cultures faculty member Enrico Minardi. This program is titled An Exploration of Culture, Cuisine, and Health in the City of Light. Paris is a global center of food and global health. And in this program, you'll explore these interrelated concepts, focusing on the role of food in defining French identity, as well as how food has changed throughout French history, and how these changes have impacted social ties and cultural meanings in human health. The program runs from July 2nd to July 24th, and you can choose to enroll in any 2 of 4 different course offerings to earn a total of 6 credits. Student housing is in dorms and hotels in central Paris as well as in Normandy. Program highlights in Paris include a chocolate making workshop, bread baking at a traditional French bakery. There are walking tours of food markets, museum visits, and other food and health-based excursions around Paris. The trip to Normandy will allow you to explore the rural production of food, and you'll also take a day trip to Reims to visit one of the oldest champagne houses in the world. And of course, there's a lot of eating involved as you discuss and discover the complicated relationship between humans and food in this city that has been the icon of food culture for centuries. We also have a program in New Zealand called Exploring Health, Culture, Sustainability, and the Environment. This is led by faculty directors Dr. David Fury and Dr. Christopher Stojanowski. It runs from May 12th to June 5th, and it's also worth 6 credits. The focus of the program is health and the environment from a social, cultural, ecological, and sustainability perspective. This is another traveling program that visits 6 different cities on 2 different islands. The 6 cities are Auckland, Tauranga, Rotorua, Wellington, Blenheim, and Christchurch. And you'll stay at a variety of different types of hostels, hotels, and lodges. The program in New Zealand travels from the north of the country to the south of the country. Highlights include visiting Maori and Pacific Island health facilities. There's kayaking and hiking in forest and alpine environments. There's a dolphin swim, vineyard tours, geothermal exploring in museums. There's also a small research component that's built in most years. All of the coursework is experiential and gets you out and about as much as possible. On free days, the schedule is also designed to support additional optional adventures. And then in Peru, the program that I'm leading, Sarah Marsteller, is Peruvian food and culture from the Incas to world-class haute cuisine. In this program, we examine Peru's rich history and modern food scene to understand the various ways in which food and culture intersect and shape health and social experiences. This program runs from May 17th to June 7th, and you'll also earn 6 credits in this program. We'll visit, the first week will be in Lima, which is the culinary capital of Latin America. We'll also travel to Paracas on the south coast of Lima to get a feel for the coastal environment and customs that are present outside of the metropolitan area. And then we'll travel to Cusco, where we'll spend about 10 days in the mountains so we can compare food production practices and cuisine on the coast to those of the high altitude Andes Mountains and the cloud forest environment surrounding Machu Picchu, where we'll also spend 2 nights. In all these places, we stay in hotels and we take day trips to more rural areas with 1 overnight stay in the lodging facilities at the rural community of Mismanay, which is located in the Sacred Valley just outside of Cusco. Some of the highlights of the Peru program include visits to Machu Picchu, as I mentioned, as well as Pachacamac and some other famous archaeological sites and museums. We'll take cooking classes that feature classic Peruvian dishes, as well as a chocolate making workshop. There will be tours of different types of food markets. We'll have group meals in varied restaurant and some outdoor settings. And we'll take day trips outside of the cities to visit agricultural fields, fishing and farming villages, and a community-run salt mine, so we'll get to talk to all of these local food producers. And throughout the program, we'll be comparing cuisines and food practices in Peru and the US, and we'll also critically examine environmental and social influences on diet and food security, including impacts of globalization, such as climate change and intersecting economies. In South Africa, we have a program on ecology, evolution, and the peoples of South Africa, which is directed by our school's director, Kay Reed, during June 30th through July 22nd. Again, it's worth 6 credits. You'll get to see fossils of human ancestors, you'll experience numerous different habitats, and encounter various cultures all across South Africa. This program includes stays in Cape Town, one of the most beautiful cities in the world, as well as Johannesburg, and it also includes visits to 5 different national parks and game reserves, including one where you'll participate in a research project. Accommodations on this program include hostels, hotels, chalets, and cabins. As part of the South Africa program, you'll get to visit the Cradle of Humankind World Heritage Site, that is the world's richest hominin fossil site. You'll also visit the West Coast Fossil Park, which is renowned for its fossil fauna, including bears and saber-toothed cats and short-necked giraffes that lived in the area 5 million years ago. Other tours include Robben Island, where Nelson Mandela was held prisoner, as well as the Maropeng and Ezekiel museums. And you'll also visit Top of Table Mountain, which offers a breathtaking view of the city of Cape Town. You'll get to drive and hike, as I mentioned, in 5 different national parks, including Kruger National Park, one of the world's top destinations for biodiversity. And that's where you'll participate in field work on the Hominins and Habitats Research Project with Dr. Reed. We also have 2 field schools being offered in the summer of 2019. The first one here is Community Health and Medical Anthropology in Guatemala. This is led by one of SHESC's top medical anthropologists, Dr. Jonathan Maupin. Dr. Maupin has extensive research experience focusing on issues of community participation in health programs, variation in illness concepts, and cultural competency among the Cachiquel Maya in Guatemala. Students on this program learn about indigenous healthcare by making site visits with healthcare providers, as well as conducting interviews in rural communities with Mayan midwives and community health workers. And you'll get to assist with data entry and analysis also. This program runs from June 9th to July 12th, so just over 4 weeks, and it's worth 6 credits. You'll stay in 2 different cities, Antigua and Acatenango, and accommodations will include shared hotel rooms for part of the program. And for the majority of time while you're in Acatenango, students will share rooms in one of 2 houses that will serve as your base while you're in the community. We also have a field school in archaeology and bioarchaeology that takes place in Campsville, Illinois. This is run by Professor Jane Bijkstra. If you don't know Professor Bijkstra, she's phenomenal. She actually created the field of bioarchaeology, and so to be able to work with her is really an incredible privilege. This program runs from June 9th to July 20th, and you'll earn 9 credits in either the bioarchaeology and osteology track, or in the field archaeology and geophysical testing track. And in this program, you'll stay in dormitory style housing. So I just want to encourage you to please reach out to any of these faculty members if you're interested in any of the programs that I've mentioned, or if you have questions. You can find links to faculty contact information on our study abroad webpage, which is shown here, shesc.asu.edu/abroad. And I want to emphasize that we're all really excited about these programs, and we can't wait for students to be interested. So please don't hesitate to contact us with any questions, or just let us know that you're interested and maybe get on an email update list or something. So before I wrap up, I just want to go over the application process and ways to fund your study abroad trip. So if you want to apply for a program, go to the Study Abroad Office website at mystudyabroad.asu.edu. On that homepage, click on the blue search link. It's called Search and Apply for a Program. And that will take you to this page, the program search page. And once you're in here, you can use any of these different fields, such as program name or just country, or there's even a map search feature in the upper right-hand side there that you can use to find the program that you're interested in. From there, you'll be taken to the specific program page. And from this page, you can just click on the Apply Now button in the upper right-hand corner. And that will take you to the application. Once you're in the application, you'll find instructions and resources and various tasks to complete. I should note that the application requirements are different for each program, so just be sure that you complete all the tasks that are listed. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us or to the folks in Study Abroad, and they'll be able to help you navigate that. And then finally, students are always asking about how they can fund their study abroad programs. So please know that there are many different ways to get funding for these programs, so don't be put off by the costs. The Study Abroad Office has a number of resources online. To find out more information, visit their website, again, mystudyabroad.asu.edu. On the main homepage of the Study Abroad, click on the maroon box at the bottom titled Explore Your Funding Options. And then I'll just go over some of these briefly. So just broadly, note that the Study Abroad Office offers these Financing Your Study Abroad workshops that can be really helpful. Also be sure to consider your own financial aid options that are available to you. There are search and apply for scholarships and grants. The Study Abroad Office has a really great search engine for those. And then you can also exhaust your options by exploring additional funding resources, including community-based funding is something that students will sometimes use. You can also view the Financing Your Study Abroad Program Handbook on the Study Abroad Office webpage for more information. The Study Abroad Office, as I mentioned, hosts a number of these workshops on financing your study abroad. So here's a list of some of the ones that are being offered in upcoming, sorry, there's a typo there. The in-person ones are held on the Tempe campus on Mondays from 2 to 3 p.m. And they're held every 2 weeks. And then, or weekly in February it looks like. And then they're also offered on Thursdays from 3 to 4 p.m. online. So you can go to their website and register for those. And then also be sure that you apply for FAFSA even if you don't think you qualify. Pretty much most financial aid can and will apply towards study abroad. So just note that you must be enrolled in you must be enrolled in 6 credits in order for your financial aid to apply. But all of our programs, this is covered, so they're all worth at least 6 credits or more. Also be sure to meet with a financial aid counselor in the ASU Financial Aid and Scholarship Services office. They'll be able to discuss your options with you. And then finally, there's an automated system in which you'll be notified about your financial aid package in relation to your study abroad program. So approximately 1 to 2 weeks after you start your application, you don't even have to complete it. You'll just start it, and then you'll receive an email from the financial aid office with information that's designed to help you plan and make your decision to study abroad. So this will be relevant to each application that you start. So if you want to receive this for multiple different programs, go ahead and start multiple applications. And then you should be aware that there are a number of scholarship and grant options that are available for study abroad. These include the Gilman Scholarship, the Study Abroad Office Travel Grant, the Study Abroad Office Diversity Scholarship, and then there are some departmental scholarships. So consider university scholarships, local scholarships, national scholarships. The Study Abroad Office has this really nice searchable database for scholarships where you can use the filters to limit your search results and to match your status and your specific study abroad program that you're interested in. So finally, don't hesitate to reach out with any questions. The folks over at the Study Abroad Office are really great taking care of all of your questions. And also don't hesitate to contact us here in SHESC. We'd love to help see you study abroad. Thank you.